up, peeps? It's your girl Josh. Come back to you from Real Takes. Today it's that time again, as you all know. I have to give you my weekly movie news. It's some things that are popping off in Hollywood. Some things I discussed earlier in the week. I'm going to be discussing again. But with that said, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. I got 13 things I want to discuss separately. So with that said, let me just go ahead and get into it. So the first order of business is, as you all know, in the middle of the week, I posted talking about the situation that was happening with Warner Brothers and Henry Cavill in regards to Superman. And I had brought up how I wasn't feeling it because I feel like it's really some sort of publicity stunt of sorts, whatever. You know, it's not like this is something that's new that's not been done before, but being the fact that it just came truly to me out of the blue, I don't know how to take it. I'm not really putting too much stake in it the way it was done. Of course, like I said, the agent was involved. Then a WB statement had to come out. And then Henry's cryptic message, you know, with the video. It was just a mess. And until I get an official real statement that they say besides Warner Brothers from Henry Cavill fully instead of some damn video, I'm not here for it, but it's fine. So basically, we're not getting a Man of Steel 2, as I discussed. And that's fine for the moment because for some reason, the thing that came up was the idea of somebody else who could play the character, which was Michael B. Jordan. I wasn't here for that either. Secondly, all of a sudden, we're hearing more and more about Supergirl being the discussion of choice. Now, I talked about that a couple weeks ago. I want to say 2 or 3 weeks ago. How rumors had been circulating about a certain director, Reed Morano, being attached to this. And like I stated, rumors. And from what we're hearing from her as of lately, because she's doing a movie press for the movie I Think We're Alone Now, you know, starring Elle Fanning. And from what she's saying from that, her and Elle had a little joke about this. They talked about it on Twitter and all that. And she's like, well, nobody's come to her. No one said anything to her about possibly being attached to this. And honestly, if that was the case, we're not going to know about that right away because it's nothing that an actual director who's attached to a film is going to leak that type of stuff until the actual Hollywood company or whoever's a producer or the producing company actually puts out a statement saying, now, okay, we're in the midst of doing this particular movie. This director has been added, whatever, and whoever is being cast. That's how it goes. You know, there's no thing where, you know, a director's going to just let you know during another press for another movie discussing something they're not really obligated to discuss, whatever, especially if contracts are involved with it and all that. That's just how that goes. So I'm really hoping she is attached to that. That would be nice. I know she's doing a great job with the show The Handmaid's Tale. She won, you know, an award recently for year of 2017 for, you know, being a director on that actual show, and it's a great show. And then I'm looking forward to the movie she's getting ready to do with Elle Fanning and Peter Dinklage. I'm excited to see that. I did a trailer reaction to that, so I'm really intrigued to see more work from her. I know I'm used to seeing her do more directly of TV shows than actual movies, so I'm kind of glad that she is doing other work outside of television. So hopefully we'll know more about that situation, and I'm hoping it's a possibility she can be, her name could just be floating around, and now somebody's probably giving, you know, license or an idea to consider her for that, and that's fine, whichever. Now, speaking of Supergirl, another thing that's been coming up is being rumored lately with them is the possibility of a villain being Brainiac. Now, I kind of like that. I thought it was rather interesting because normally his opposing person he goes up against is normally Superman, and I see they're doing a flip there. Now we're hearing about Brainiac. I'm also hearing little, you know, worries or wonders of the fact that they're going to have this as, of course, origin story, but it's going to start where circa the 70s. So I don't know if there's any truth to any of this. That is fine. I stated it before when I was doing my rant about the Superman. They were discussing how, if you all recall, with him, or even with the Supergirl show, let me use the CW show as an example of that. Supposedly, the way the pods came in, whichever, you know, she was, you know, out there, whichever, and all that. And of course, she was older. Of course, Superman was considered a baby. We've always seen him from the movies they've given us, and also from the comics, him being a little baby. You know, this couple finds him and raises him as their own, whichever. Now, I'm curious to see how they're going to tell the story of Supergirl in the actual movie. So that would be interesting. I love the way they did it, how briefly it was on the CW show Supergirl, and that's fine, whichever for them at the pace. This is a TV show. They're in, I think, what, third season, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So think they're getting ready to start their third season. I'm trying to do a math. God, these shows go by so fast. I have to keep track of the seasons. But yeah, I have no problem with it. Don't get me wrong. Like I stated during my little moment with the whole Superman thing, I have no problem with that. I would love to see that. I remember when they did the old version Supergirl movie back in the, what was it, late 80s or whatever, mid 80s. I enjoyed it for what it was. It was great. Faye Dunaway's, the protagonist, whatever. It was great. Now, I'm curious to know, of course, also, if they're really trying to start getting together, or the possibility of production, investing into Supergirl. Okay, definitely want to know who's going to be the director. I'm curious to know who's going to be the lead. Who are they looking for? I mean, so I said we're already basically into a rumor mill thing with them, and I look forward to more information coming out, because I just feel like I don't know if WB and DC, you are trying to get all this stuff revved up. It's not like they don't have enough on their plate as it is as of the moment. So I'm not really understanding what's the point of that. But, that's Hollywood for you. We have to sometimes take these little tactics that they do, whatever and all that, with a grain of salt. And that's just how I'm going to play it. When I know more about that, I will definitely let you all know, whichever. But hopefully they'll just kind of start giving us some actual information about that, since we are getting all this other foolery going on with Superman. So, but speaking of another DCEU, I know we were discussing about Batman. Now, from what we're hearing, because I'm going to move on from that, Matt Reeves, now we're hearing that the script is now complete for the Batman standalone movie. Happy to hear that, because I discussed a couple weeks ago it was still in the works. He was still working on the script. A Twitter post was put out by a person by the name of Umberto Gonzalez, whatever, where he stated the first draft of the script finally went into the studio. Great news to me. Now, the issue here is now, okay, we already know that Matt Reeves had to take over the writing and the directing aspect of it, because, of course, Ben at this time cannot do that. He had been discussing this really early into the year last year, how all these little things were going on with him not wanting to be in front of the camera. He probably prefer to be in the back. Now, with him dealing with some personal issues, in his life, whatever, I feel more and more so he's not going to be really attached. We don't know how long he's going to be dealing with those issues outside of him doing his work, with this movie or any other movie for that matter. So then also other things that came up where Matt Reeves had discussed how we're going to probably have a younger version of Batman, or Bruce Wayne, so if you will, but I'm thinking more so on the Batman line, that we'll get to see more of an origin of him growing into his character, Bruce Wayne, and becoming more of a formidable foe for dealing with the crime, in Gotham City. So I'm just not sure what they're going to do with that. Furthermore, we don't have any casting for that. Granted, the script's done. What's happening with casting? We still don't know who is attached to this movie per se. So that's another thing. Also, rumors are coming out that John Hamm has made it, a little, discussion that he would love to be considered for that. Now, let me put it like this. Not sure how I feel about the Batman part, but I can see him doing the Bruce Wayne part, whatever, and all that, the Playboy persona. I can see that, because when I think about him doing that part, it reminds me of the way he carried himself in that show he was on called Mad Men. So that is not far-fetched to me. Now, he's not old. I'm not doing an ageism thing here. What, 46, 47? It's doable, because I think he's around the same age as Ben Affleck. Yeah, I think Ben Affleck, I think 46 might be, 46, 47 too. So yeah, I mean, it's possible, but it got to be on point. You see what Ben did. I mean, you saw it in the movie Batman vs. Superman. The boy got ripped. So you just can't come in here looking all willy-nilly, whatever. Not to say John's not in shape, but he'd have to put in the work. So I just not seeing the fight sequences. I'm not visualizing him in that. Honestly, all the movies I've seen him in, I've never seen him like really go toe-to-toe, like fighting scenes, whatever, per se. So I don't know. It's just, it's really out there. They might decide to do more of a, the fight sequences has Batman at a younger age, if they do the younger part, and then keep him, we're showing him more in his role as, the little persona, like I said, Playboy, the money and all that, doing all the stuff he does, with his businesses or whatever, possibility. So we'll have to see how that pans. I'm not, opposed to it. I need more, but now that the script is done, I'm looking forward to hearing more information about this, how this is going to move along. Secondly, when are they going to factor in when they're going to start production? I'm really feeling like it's going to be next year, maybe springtime. We'll know a little bit more going into the springtime of next year. Maybe we'll know something earlier for casting. Yes, because now we need to know who's going to get cast. I really want to know who's going to be cast. And I'm praying that Matt is now getting ready to start doing that so we can learn more about this. But yeah, it's just a lot going on with DCEU. They have a lot under their plate. They're trying to put out things, they're trying to formulate, they're trying to get done. It just seems like, they really are starting from scratch with a lot of things, whatever, with all this stuff going on, and then with these tabloids, whatever. It's just all over the place for me, you know. So we'll have to see whichever now. So, but with that said, moving on. Now, I know I discussed how a couple weeks back when I was talking about Venom, how I was really hoping they would keep it rated R because I know they wanted to keep it nice and dark with that, and I was here for it. The trailer looks good. It looks like it's going to be very dark at times within the movie. Well, it looks like my wish was not granted. It looks like we're going to be PG-13, you guys. They decided to make it PG-13. Yay, everyone. Just like, are you kidding me? I just I just don't have no words. Let me just read off what they said. So the guy Eric Davis from Fandango, he was asked about this and he put his 2 cents in this, and I'm gonna read exactly what he said, whichever, so you can see how my face really looked when I finish reading this part, whatever. He says the reason is so that Venom and Spider-Man can face off at some point down the line. If the movie is R, it's hard to do that. Now, okay. So basically, it wasn't about doing a standalone where you can give Venom his just due. Now you're making it okay. Now we definitely want Spider-Man to come into the verse. We want this crossover so badly. So you know what? We're going to go ahead and just make it where it's PG-13. And let me tell you how I can tell they are going to do that. When I went to see what was it, The Predator the other night, they showed the trailer for it. You can see the parts they'd already edited out. The part at the end with the guy in the little convenience store where, a little bit of, belligerent wording and all that. They cut some of that wording out, the phrasing, all that out. I said, oh yeah, but they didn't show the rating during the trailer. They cut certain scenes with some of the comments he makes and whatever, and some of the gore, whatever. That's how you know. So that right there has me straight pissed because I'm like, what else are you all going to cut from the way you have had it edited in the trailer that you're not going to show now? And then word is circulating that the director is claiming that they're going to see if they can promise us an unrated cut version, director's cut, when it comes out on DVD. I'm going to tell you like this. You know how many people are probably pissed? I know some that are online that I was reading in some of my favorite blogs and commenters that were like, well, you know what? Some of them are, I'm sorry to say it, I'm just going to say it, are going to bootleg the hell out of this. Secondly, some of them are like, yeah, when the unrated director's cut come out, that's probably when I'll watch it. They're going to lose some of the people who were finally going to be on board to watch this movie now that they did this. Now, this is another thing I brought up before. Okay, you're gonna make us PG-13. Okay, you see how Riot seems to be is gonna be his go through whatever and all that. We know Carnage is somewhere in this. Most likely at the end, like I said, Will Harrelson will probably be towards the end of this movie, wherever the segue into possibly doing the second, which I have a feeling they're gonna do. Okay, when you do the one with Carnage, is that gonna be PG-13 as well? I can imagine how we're expecting a drag down battle fight between the two, whatever. It's going to get really nasty. That's going to be PG. You're going to make that so lighthearted, whatever, and all that because it's got to be kid friendly. I'm like, and then the thought of them possibly doing a third one. I can see a second one, the third one, whichever, which I discussed about Michelle Williams would love to do She-Venom. That would be nice if they introduce us to her in the third installment. But I'm just trying to factor how that's supposed to work. Now we're dealing with what is it, Spider-Man, Far From Home. Okay, then after that, how many more is Tom Holland contractually obligated to do where we might get that possible crossover? All these things come into play, and I'm just curious to see how they're going to do that. Oh gosh, first it was Superman and now this crap. It's just like, I don't understand why they just felt the need to do the standalone if you're going to grip that. Because at first they wanted to do the R rated, they were wanting it, then all of a sudden they changed their mind. They better pray they do that crossover, and it better happen. And that thing better be epic in some sorts, because I'm gonna tell you like this: a lot of the people are not here for it. A lot of them were not happy about it in the first place. Then they were like, okay, that last trailer did it. Like, okay, I'm on board. I'm Team Venom. And then you give us this. I'm going to go see the movie. Matter of fact, I'm mad at myself for not getting my tickets yesterday because now the tickets are on sale. If you all have not gotten your tickets, you better jump on it because I have a feeling in another week or two, a lot of them are going to be sold out, especially anything that's good timed and good seats will be gone. I don't know what I was thinking last night when I forgot to get the tickets. I'm going to get them tomorrow because I'm not leaving this house. I'm just going to chill out, but I'm going to get them because I'm not going to let all of next week go by and miss my opportunity. I'm going to probably go Thursday because I'm afraid somebody's going to spoil it online because some people just have no filter. So I'm going to definitely see it Thursday evening when I get my tickets. But yes, you guys, comment below. Let me know what you all think about this PG-13 thing because I just think that's some BS too. I'm like, why? But that's just my vent. I had to get that off my chest, whichever. So, but moving on. Speaking of more DC, we're hearing now that Suicide Squad 2 script is now finished. So the thing with this one, I'm excited. I'm happy for that, whichever. This is the issue here. Now, Will Smith has a couple things on his plate, and I wonder if that's going to play a part in when this is supposed to come out. Now, they had stated, now I had to write this down, they're claiming they want to work on this, and it's supposed to be supposedly something production for 2019. Now, talked about this a couple weeks ago with Will Smith. He's getting ready to start working on Bad Boys 3. It's supposed to go from, what is it, November to March. Then after that, starting from March on or April, he's supposed to do Bright 2 for Netflix. And then going into November of 2019, he's supposed to start on Suicide Squad. That's the way they had played it, because at first Suicide Squad had been pushed it back. I'm happy the script is done, but I'm hoping that it's exactly the timeline, because Suicide Squad came out a couple years ago. We have been waiting for, well, I've been waiting. Let me clarify that, because some people are like, girl, please. I've been waiting for this movie, Bad Boys 3, to finally come happen. And even Martin has been waiting, because he tweeted about it. He's like, he ready to get it done. And I'm like, I want you to get it done so we can get this trilogy so I can get my box set. But yes, and then also with Breaks. The first one was good. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in the second one, because it was a lot of unfinished business. It was so good. So I'm hoping that's the way they are. But then that makes you wonder, okay, production starts next year, late next fall. When is this plan to come out? Is this going to be 2021? Because it does push it back a little bit now. And there's nothing wrong with that. So excuse the phone, you guys. I'm not going to get up. So if you hear it ringing, my apologies. So I just don't know what they're going to do about this. So hopefully we will know more, and when I know more about that, we'll know for sure, for certain, if that's the case, because I think that's what they're going to do. Because if he's getting ready to start, they got to follow that timeline, and Will Smith's definitely in the movie Suicide Squad 2. So I already know most of the cast are coming back. We already know Margot Robbie's, busy working on Birds of Prey. So yeah, so everybody's kind of doing their thing. Plus, Jared's working on Morbius. So yeah, honestly, the main three people are working on some stuff. So yeah, I think it's going to have to take a burner, to be pushed aside for the moment. And there's nothing wrong with that. As long as we get the movie, and hopefully, whoever's directing, I don't know who's directing yet. We don't have any more details about that, but I'm excited to know more. So when I do, you already know. I'll let you guys know. So moving on. Now, speaking of Captain Marvel, when I talked about last week, I was so happy. I'm looking forward to that first trailer, that magazine cover. I need to buy my copy just to have. Looking forward to knowing more with the character, Brie Larson, but also we're going to know more about Agent Coulson and Nick Fury, you guys. We have a picture that came out showing the two guys, and it looks like it's circa 1990s. I'm excited to know exactly just understanding the characters and how they're going to play a part. Because if you all remember in Infinity War, the ending with Nick Fury, when he was trying to send out a signal, a distress signal, he was sending it to, and you saw the logo for what looked like to be Captain Marvel. And I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how he ties in, especially Agent Coulson. Now, everybody should already be familiar with him. Of course, he was in a couple movies like Iron Man, Thor, whichever, until he was, killed off in the Avengers. And then, of course, he's on the show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't know what's going to be happening with his character. I think they're going into what looks like to be season 6, whatever. We don't know his fate going into that one, whichever. That's one of those shows I've yet to be watching. After season 1, I need to get caught up. I'm well behind. Do not judge me. I need to get on that. But yes, I'm looking forward to seeing it. Plus, loving the pictures of showing Nick Fury younger. Of course, looking at Samuel Jackson with his full head of hair and all that. It's just something I'm looking forward to seeing, the nostalgia for it all. But yeah, I'm just looking forward to the actual trailer. Secondly, with that, speaking of Captain Marvel, I don't know if this supposedly was leaked or whatever, but supposedly the trailer is going to be released on Tuesday. I don't know if that's actually accurate or not. I'm going to keep my eyes out for that. I'll just put it like this. I'm just going to wait till I get home to do that. I'm not even going to hurt myself doing that during my lunch break or whatever and all that, carrying that stuff into work. I'm just going to do it from home. I'm almost jealous of all the people who have a schedule where they can do it and they can hurry and knock it out and put it at home. But it is what it is. Girls at her 9 to 5. As soon as I get home, we'll crank that baby out. If it's true, if it's coming out on Tuesday. So, but with that said, you guys, moving on. Speaking of another reboot I was discussing, I just discussed this last week, talking about Norman Reedus talking about Ghost Rider. Now, it looks like Nicolas Cage put his thoughts out there. He's been doing press for a couple movies, one of them being Mandy. He was talking about how he's really going to bat for them. If they're going to do a reboot, please do a more R-rated reboot. in that special. Somebody really wanted that R rating. Now, I'm right there with him because I agree, because I said it's going to be very gritty. It was dark. They tried to keep it very wholesome when they did the PG-13 back in the day. And it did very well for what it did, because before we had all this Iron Man, everything, this is the movie you saw with Nicolas Cage, whichever, and he was playing this particular character who, ends up doing a deal with the evil, the devil, ends up turning into Ghost Rider. Now, I enjoyed the first one, like I stated before. I did not like the second one. It was some garbage. I did not care for it. Now, granted, it had some good, supernatural beings, whatever, with powers and all. That was a part I liked, but the storyline was just not good, whichever. That was the only thing that was surviving, a surviving factor to the movie. But other than that, overall, I did not take heed to that movie at all. Now, let me read what Nicolas Cage said when he was doing his press. He says, the problem is, it's very hard to take a family of children to a movie, and they made it a PG-13 movie about a superhero who, oh boy, by the way, also happens to sell his soul to the Satan. So it's not going to be the most commercial concept or vehicle, but it certainly is the most interesting and the most thought-provoking. I think if you look back on the movies today, they aged very well. He says, had Ghost Rider been made R formatted, the way they had the guts to do with the Deadpool, and they did, and again today, I'm fairly certain it would have been enormously successful. Having said that, I think the movies were a hit. People don't look at the subsidiary outlets like DVD and streaming and whatnot. When you look at what Mark Neveldine and Brian Taylor did, 2020's Ghost Rider: Spirit Avengers for $50 million, they got $250 million in return. You begin to see the genius of the sequel. Okay, and to that point, I agree with him. Point taken on that, whichever. But you see how he said that? He says, when they had the guts to do that for Deadpool and Logan, that's just my, shade to Venom, but whatever. But yes, I agree with what he says with that. That will be it. And I'm thinking, you have some people who are willing to take the risk, you see clearly, and then others are want. But see, I know there's an underlining for the whole movie of Venom, so I'm going to not keep dwelling on that part. So we understand what the whole purpose of that is, because fan base for Spider-Man is, young and old. So it makes it really hard, and it's like you feel conflicted, but it's just like, all I have to say is they better have a crossover, whatever, because if the potential of you all possibly ruining the standalone Venom, whatever, and figuring out we want to get a lot of the stuff we want, even though people didn't want it. Now for this reboot, if it does happen, it's still just being thrown out there. There's nobody attached to direct, whatever, and all that. It's just a lot of rumors going around, and whoever has their hands in the possibility of doing Ghost Rider, whatever production company, that will be great. And I'm hoping that they're hearing the wordings of Nicholas and Norman. I think Norman, like I said last week, will be a Ghost Rider. He's definitely rough around the edges with the look, whatever. He's already loves his bikes, whatever. He fits the full, physicality of it all. He'd be perfect for that. The guy can act. It's almost like a no-brainer. So we'll have to see if that does pan out, because it's getting a lot of discussion. So you never know. So fingers are crossed with that. And I don't mind a reboot of that one. I love the first one with Nicolas Cage. I'm a fan of Nicolas Cage. I thought he did very well in the first one. So we'll have to see how that pans out, you guys. But speaking of some other people affiliated with Marvel, whatever. The Russo brothers have a new movie they've been working on with somebody else from Marvel, aka Black Panther, aka Chadwick Boseman. They're going to be working on a movie called 17 Bridges. I'm excited. It's kind of like a little thriller, and a little bit, taking a little detour, if you will, from Marvel, which is nice, whatever. No, I love that. And it's not an issue also for, say, Chadwick, because I was introduced to him when he did the movie 42. And I love what he did when he did the biopic for James Brown. Of course, he did the movie Marshall. So him doing other work besides before he became so well known to so many people with Black Panther. But I just love that he can show his range. And it was well before Black Panther, so nobody could typecast him, whatever. I'm excited for the prospect of this movie. I'm like, okay, you branch out doing something else now, because everybody wanted to feel like, okay, once he finished Black Panther, is he getting ready to do Black Panther 2? I don't think they're starting to just yet. He'll be in Avengers 4 as well. He's enjoying the ride of Infinity War as well. He was in that. They all had to go to Wakanda, had to use, the technology, the fight. He needed his people. And it was such a great movie, whichever. And I'm just loving all the accolades he's getting from doing Black Panther, whatever. So I'm just looking forward to him doing this. Now, I did have to read up on the synopsis of this because I was curious, because the title of it kind of, had me stop exactly what would he be doing with this movie with the Russo brothers directing this. So it's called 17 Bridges, like I stated. It says it will follow Boseman as a disgraced NYPD detective who becomes involved with a manhunt. He's put on a case to find a cop murderer that will take him across the city as he tries to redeem himself. However, the hunt isn't as clear and as cut as he may initially had thought. That's all they're giving us for the plot, so we don't have anything else to go on. And I think that's just enough. I don't need any more until we get an actual trailer. Now, for this movie, they're claiming it has a July 2019 release date. That means he probably has already started production sometime, maybe this month or maybe last month, whichever. Because honestly, we have not seen Chadwick in anything recently. I haven't seen any press or anything with him, so he's probably already in getting involved with the actual movie. Now, I don't know who else is cast. They didn't discuss that, but I'm looking forward to knowing more as time goes on. If I have more people who cast, whoever this person, he's looking at the manhunt to find out who's his cop murderer. That's very intriguing to me. I love a good thriller. Also, it's going to be interesting because of the month they chose for next year. They have two different movies coming out: Spider-Man Far Away From Home, which is coming out the week before, and then once this one comes out a week after, we have Lion King. Of course, they would pick the month when all this going on. I feel like it's going to get lost in the shuffle. So I'm kind of worried for them for that part, but it is what it is. Things like this happen, whatever. I wish they push it close to fall so they can get this little, day in the sun, whatever, but they picked July. They could change it now because that's happened before. Some movies get pushed up a couple of weeks and some push back, whatever. So we'll have to see. I'm going to hopefully, fingers crossed for him, because I don't see this movie, even though he's Black Panther and everybody likes to just signify him as Black Panther. That doesn't mean a lot of people want to go out and see this. Once that Spider-Man comes out, I bet you the next 2 weeks it's going to make a rack of bank. And once Lion King comes out, whatever movie Spider-Man made, they better make sure they make some nice amount of money until it goes overseas. Because once Lion King comes out, the live action, it's a wrap. I'm just saying, everybody remember the animation, they loved it so much, they've been waiting for the live action. It's going to make a rack of money. So, yes, and it's around July. Come on now, kids are out. I mean, there's nothing else I can say. It's self-explanatory, but it just gives me more to watch and more to review for you guys. So I don't really care either way. So I'm going to probably go see all three of these movies. It is what it is. So, but just wanted to bring that to you guys. Whatever, I'm looking forward to chatting, working on some other stuff, whichever, and that's nice. And just to see Russo brothers working on something besides anything affiliated with Marvel is always great every now and then. I love Marvel, but it's nice that they get away and do their other things. Case in point, some other actors like Chris Hemsworth and all, they're working on what is he doing right now with Tessa Thompson? He's doing Men in Black, whatever, and all. So everybody's kind of doing their thing, and it's all great and good. So, but with that said, moving on. Now, this is one movie wasn't even sure I want to talk about because I'm kind of not feeling the fact that we had to wait closer to October to finally get some information about that. Hopefully a trailer is coming out soon. I am discussing Hellboy. Now, what I'm trying to understand here too, and I'm going to rant about this for a quick minute, why didn't they just have something come out during Comic-Con? I'm like, I don't know why they felt that they had to wait to New York Comic-Con to do it. There's nothing wrong with Comic-Con. And this probably, I don't know, what I want to think is because, with San Diego's Comic-Con is a little bit more bigger, wide range and all that, they probably get lost in the shuffle. I don't know how. But secondly, I don't know if New York Comic-Con is a little bit more, not as big, but still very notable. A lot of people feel like they'll get their focus more so, selected as opposed to being such a large amount of TV shows, movies, everything, know the man, whatever, the cosplay, everything. That's probably more so the gist of it, and there's nothing wrong with that. Fine. Now, this movie comes out in January, you guys. I'm like, we're in October, so it's not that far away. And that's why I was just like, why it took them so long to finally, we have nothing. We had no teaser. We had nothing. All we heard was, of course, Harbor being cast from Stranger Things to play the character Hellboy. I'm still in my feelings because no more Ron Perlman, but it is what it is. He gave his blessing to Harbor. He's doing it. We saw the poster of him. He looks exactly like Hellboy when Ron Perlman did it. You can't even tell, and that's great and good, but still, not a lot going on. But I did hear from the actual comic book creator of this, Magnolia, that's going to be definitely based off the comic book, a little bit more grittier, more darker, and that's great. I'm happy for that. I just hated that we're waiting this long. Now, New York Comic Con is from October 4th through the 7th. So hopefully around that weekend, they'll maybe show a teaser or they'll wait till after the con to actually upload something because, like I said, January is right around the corner. October is in a couple of weeks, then we have November, December, and then January's here. And I would like to see something. The hype isn't really real for it right now because we don't know anything yet. But when October comes, maybe it will get everybody excited again. People are like, oh, wow, I forgot Hellboy's coming out. Honestly, like a month and a half ago, I wasn't even thinking about it because I forgot about it my damn self because I really liked it. I love the ones that Guillermo del Toro did, and I'm excited to see this one. I'm bummed every now and then when I think about it because I really want him to finish his trilogy to make it, 3 of them. But you see things happen, and of course Guillermo, he's doing very good. He's doing well. He has a lot on his plate. He's not hurting, and that little shiny Oscar he just recently got, he's doing fabulously. But I still feel like we were robbed, and I feel like deep down he probably wish he could have did that last one, and Ron probably too. But it is what it is. We have a new cast. I'm looking forward to him. I know some other people are going to be in this movie. I'm looking forward to seeing. And I'm just wanting more. And like I said, I'm hoping that the trailer comes out so we can see what this looks like so I can get ready, because I'm still going to go see it. I'm just mad and I'm venting like a little baby. I don't care. I want to see something. And I'm like, we need it like now. So between October 4th through the 7th, I hope we get what we need to get. So moving on from that, you guys, speaking of just horror in general as well, it looks like we have another Conjuring on our hands. The filming is going to be starting very shortly. It's supposed to begin in 2019. I'm excited. And of course, you already know James Wan is going to be a part of it. Now, the thing is that people were worried if he wasn't going to be involved with it. Excuse the phone again. Can't help it, you guys. People do call. They can leave a voicemail. So with all the movies like Annabelle Creation, we had our Conjuring first one, our Conjuring the second one, and then I just saw, what is it, last week, The Nun. I figured we would be getting a trilogy set where we have all 3 of them, and hopefully we'll have Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson will be back in this one, which will be great. Now, they're stating James Wan has nothing lined up once he finishes press coming up soon for Aquaman. And I'm hoping that's the case, because I would love for him to be in it. Because at first we weren't sure if he was going to be attached to it. Granted, he's writing scripting for The Nun and producing, being behind it, the screen again, like he always does, whichever. But this time there's nothing set up that he's planning to do right after this, whichever, which is a good thing. And I'm actually excited about that. So, but yeah, I'm hoping for that, because I love the first one, but I really love Conjuring the second one, so much so. Matter of fact, last night I was watching Annabelle Creation. The first Annabelle, the only thing that was creepy about that was the doll. Now, Annabelle Creation, that was creepy. I was enjoying it last night so much. I was watching, and then I restarted to watch it again, and I fell asleep. But yeah, it was good. I liked the way they told the story with kind of like the prequel with Annabelle Creation, whatever. I thought it was done very well. I discussed how I felt about The Nun. I feel like they could have fleshed out The Nun a little bit more. It was some creepy factor, a little bit of jump scares here and there and all that, but it was so much more. But they did tie it into all of them. So it's almost like if you watch them all together, you will have what you need to have for that. And that's fine. So, but yeah, I'm just looking forward to knowing when it starts production, because from what they had said, this was supposed to come out in July of 2019. Don't know if they have any time to do that. So I'm feeling like they're going to start production on 2019. This is going to probably come out in 2020. I could be wrong. We'll have to see. Patrick Wilson, of course, will be doing press as well with James Wan, because he's in Aquaman as well. Vera Farmiga, she has, some things she's working on as well. So we'll have to see how that pans out. Like I stated, always, when I know more, I will let you know, and definitely when I know more when they're going to start Conjuring 3. I already have a person lined up to go see that with me, because we love our horror, and girlfriend will be very happy about that one. So speaking of more horror, I got so much horror going on, you guys. I'm excited that Jordan Peele is coming on board to do a remake for Candyman. At first, I wasn't sure how I felt, because that movie is a cult classic, and my horror icon, Tony Todd, is fabulous in that movie. That's one of those ones, still to this day, does creep me out, especially if I'm watching in a complete darkness by myself. But I don't know, I get the creepy factor altogether. I think he's just doing so well with what he's working on. I know he's working on this movie called I think This Is Us, horror movie based. It's supposed to be coming out, I think, around, it's not January, I think February or March, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's March. He's still in production with that, but he knows he's using his Monkey Paw production company, that's going to be tied in with this remake now. Everybody remembers the first one. Some people might not know about the first one. Now they know Jordan Peele's coming on. Some people probably start doing some due diligence to learn about this. Whoever doesn't, which is the young cats, need to get on board with that. The first one was great. I'm all for remakes for certain ones, and I'll be honest with you, sometimes I can find myself to be rather hypocritical at times. Like I was with It, I wasn't sure about that. Then it came out, it did very well, and now we're going to get an It too. One of them, I'll be honest with you, I'm really not feeling, but the cast is coming together, and I'm kind of trying to give it the benefit. Like I said, it's Pet Sematary, and some other movies are going to be being made that I'm just like, whichever. It's always kind of like, you see who's cast, you see who's directing, who's involved, you try to give the benefit. It's hard because I'm like tinkering every time I see a remake, whatever, depending on who's involved. because I just don't want them to just make it for the simple fact of making it because you don't feel like the ones from the past don't hold up. They do. And I still watch those. That's why I try not to be so judgmental, but sometimes it's real freaking hard not to be. This one right here is going to be scrutinized somewhat. Even though Jordan Peele is on par to do it, and I have very much confidence he's going to make it look good, whatever. And he knows he has to make sure he does good on this one because they will rake him over the coals for it. First of all, who's going to play Candyman? Off the cuff. Who's going to play him? I'm dying to know. Secondly, who's going to play the character by Virginia Madsen? What was her name? Because I forgot her name in the thing, Helen. So, yes, I had to write my notes down for that one. I'm just, yeah, we just need to know who is going to be cast as Candyman. I need to see the face. I need to get the feel. That will let me know. I'm like, okay, I think I might be on board. Team Candyman, I'm here. So like I said, once I see who's playing the lead character of that particular character, then I'll feel like, okay, this might work. This might work. Like I said, it's gotta be a person who has a look, whatever, because they're gonna do the flashbacks, when the artist, whatever, and all that was, but the lynch mob, his hand chopped off, his painting hand, and then, the honey on his face, whatever, and all of the bees are the ones that kill. We want the flashback. We want them to look the part, like, he was a slave. Everything's got to look the part for this to work. So, but yeah, I'm down for it. I want to see what Jordan Peele is going to bring to the table with this. I'm looking forward to knowing a little bit more. We don't know anything about when the production is, if they're going to start. We just know it's just in the beginning stages of he's on board. And we just need to know what else is going to happen for that. I'm just looking forward to that. Also, who else was in that movie? Casey Lemons was in that as well with Virginia Madsen. I remember her in that as well. So, but yeah, I'm just looking forward to knowing more about who's going to be attached to this. And then from there, we'll just see how it's going to work out for you guys. So, but with that said, moving on. And I was speaking of Casey Lemons because I remember she was in that. Speaking of her, I'm excited because she is going to be directing the Harriet Tubman biopic. I'm excited for this. Our girl, well, not our girl, my girl, Cynthia Erivo, she's playing Harriet Tubman. I'm excited. Now, if you're not familiar with her, she has a plethora of work, and she's a busy lady. She, of course, won her Tony for doing the play of Color Purple. So happy for her when she won. Plus, she's going to be in the movie Bedtimes at El Royale, and also the movie by Steve McQueen, Widow, starring her and Viola Davis and Michelle Rodriguez. This girl is a busy bee. I'm excited for her. This one I'm excited for. I'm all for great biopics. And I'm excited to see what she's going to bring to the table for doing this. I'm excited that Casey Lemons is the director. She has a plethora of work as well. She's done movies like Eve's Bayou. I already said the Candyman movie, Talk to Me. I mean, that's just to name a few. Now, they're stating, and I had to note this for me, they're starting production in October for this movie, and it's going to be in Virginia. I was so excited about this. I had to tell my aunt about this because she loves Harriet Tubman. She has a couple of things posted in her home. And she has like a mug that she likes to drink from. It has Harriet Tubman on there, whichever. And she was literally, I lit up when I told her. I said, well, when it comes out and I find out, me and you will go and we'll make it a movie date so we can enjoy that. She doesn't do movies now. She's in her 70s. She likes to chill at home, watch a movie from home. Every now and then, if it's something special, she will track out and go. And I will be the one who will most likely scoop her up and take her to go see it. And we will enjoy it together. So, but I'm happy for that. Now, also, speaking of this movie, getting a little bit of backlash in regards to Cynthia. There was somebody who had posted a comment about this, making a claim, why is it, that some British people, are constantly, getting roles over here, just, African, whatever else. What's with you people doing this? Let me tell you, right when she said you people, I lost all concept to even listen to the rest of that, whatever. I'm not even here for any of that nonsense. I understand what the person is trying to say, but this is the thing. They're actors. They're paid to do whatever. If they found the person. Now, granted, there are some American actors who probably could play the character. They could probably do a full-out search, and they might have been doing a full-out search. But it could have been the way she actually read for the actual part, and it was something about the way she, conveyed a scene that they might have had her read off of a script that they liked, and that's what Casey saw and thought she was the perfect person. Secondly, overall, physical aesthetics does play a part as well. The features as well might play a part in how they're going to know she looks, whichever. All that plays a part. Not just reading the script and all that. How she's going to look, how she's speaks in the tongue of how to get the words across to embody how we were going to see Harriet when this movie comes out. And that's all we really want. I know some people a couple of years ago were really upset when Zoe Saldana, they put her in some sort of blackface when she was doing some sort of biopic to Nina Simone. I'm gonna tell you like this, that was done so poorly. When I see the picture of it, it just irks my eyes. Just, oh my goodness, it was horrible. I don't know what, there were so many different people they could have picked, but to literally have her face, which is light, very light brown, and then try to darken it up, prosthetic nose, and I was like, really? There's so many females who could have done that who don't even need all that extra. All you had to do is, whatever hairstyle she had or whatever she wore on her head, satin little, scarf, whatever, and all that. Boom. Really? So I'm looking forward to seeing Cynthia in full character. So we can shut down a little bit of this hate that she's getting already. And she spoke up for herself about this, her being an actress and this, whichever, and, playing a part and not feeling like, that plays a part, whatever she's going to read. Because, of course, they have to speak that American dialect because she is, has an accent. So yeah, I see their part for that part. But, we have some people who, American side who do, other dialects, whichever. So it's just, yeah, that's one of those ones where it can get real tricky at times, whichever. But, she won over Casey and probably the other producers, whoever's on board, whatever, and they like what they saw, and she is the one that's going to be playing the character. I am not even going to entertain anything moving forward from that, whichever. I'm happy for her. Kudos to her. I'm looking forward to them doing this movie. I'm assuming if they're doing this in October, we might have a late fall release for this next year. And if that's the case, that's going to be some Oscar bait for her for that one, for sure. So, yes, I'm looking forward to knowing more details for this particular biopic for sure, because this is a long time coming. It should have been done a long time ago, but sometimes it depends on the right time, the right fit, and the right person, and she obviously is the one. And I'm happy Casey is going to be the one to direct this with her body of work. It's in good hands, so I'm excited for that. So, but moving on. One movie that's coming out this fall that I'm looking forward to is coming out in November. Is Creed 2. When I did my reaction, I was so excited. I'm looking, of course, Michael B. Jordan. I can't say enough about him. Secondly, I'm looking forward to Ivan Drogo and Victor Drogo. We already saw the ending when he was in the ring. He turned around, you saw the back of that, it said Drago right there. I literally was like, oh, that's the son. That's the son. And a lot of people were kind of like, ugh, well, I'm like, But then I'm thinking to myself, what is you all expecting? What kind of storyline you think it was going to be? And secondly, there's nothing wrong with it. I think that's actually perfect. Now, granted, some people wanted it to be somebody maybe from the era of the movie that was done where Mr. T was in. Yeah, that's doable. You never know. That might come down the pike, whatever, and all that. I feel they might do another Creed, whatever. I doubt Creed 2 will be the last one. We'll probably get a third one, and that might be the last and final one, or might go up to 4. You never know. Depends on, what Michael B. Jordan wants to do and what, Sylvester Stallone wants to do. So, but this is the thing I'm enjoying about this. It was discussed that at first Dolph Lundgren was not considering doing this, but the script changed his mind. I'm going to read what he stated. He liked the quality of the script. He says, but the script was really good, and I got a chance to show another side of the same man. 35 years later, and more of a damaged, struggling side. I used some of my own life that I've been through the last 35 years in this character, so it's kind of a full circle. So it turned out to be a really great experience for me. A real dramatic challenge, but also a great experience to look back at my own career the way he looks back at his career as a fighter. There are some parallels that I think are kind of unique. And I like that because that's what I stated when I did my reaction. I wanted to see if they were going to show some sort of, story and backstory with him, of course, being involved with his son training, whatever, and all that, how, of all the people he wanted to fight, even if they're going to show parts of flashbacks of him fighting somewhere and working his way to the States to fight, Creed. And I'm curious to see, his relationship with his son. looking forward to that now for sure. It's going to be good. Matter of fact, I'm going to post a picture somewhere in here where you'll see there's a scene where they're both having a talk there at the top of the steps. And I'm looking forward to seeing that scene. It looks like it's going to be a very pivotal scene between him and his son. You know, they're on the stomping grounds of where, you know, Rocky is, Apollo, whatever. And you'll see, you know, Rocky's, you know, his, like his, I want to say figure, whatever. I got the wrong choice of words, whatever. And it's just, you can see it truly will probably come full circle for Ivan, but his son, you know, probably living in the shadows of his dad, whatever, wants to branch out, whatever, of course, but then also, you know, get some sort of justice for his dad, whatever. So we're gonna get to see his type of feelings, hopefully as well. Like I said, the guy playing Victor Drago, whichever, he's more known for boxing, whatever. He's getting into the acting phase, and it's probably one of his other one or two movies prior to this. So you'll get to see him flex his acting skills and just kind of seeing where they're going to take him and his character with his dad. Secondly, I'm hoping, like I said before, we'll get to see them bond. Of course, if his mother is around, whichever, that will be nice as well. And I'm looking forward to seeing the whole family. They're going to show all of them together. That would be very interesting. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this movie. Like I said, it comes out November 21st to be exact. And November's fully stacked with a lot of good stuff. And this is right around the holiday. I'm most definitely going to go see this. Oh, I'm looking forward to Creed 2. It looks so like it's going to be so good. I don't know if they're going to do another trailer. Probably don't really need to. They might do something like a little TV spot, whatever. I'm gonna try to avoid those, whatever. But yes, you guys, you know, comment below. Let me know how you all feel. You're all ready for the Creed movie? I know I am. I'm looking forward to it immensely. And my last and final movie discussion. This is one of these ones where I'm really looking forward to, and it's a horror one as well. James Wan will be producing it. It's going to be a TV series. It's going to be based off of Swamp Thing, and I am so excited. I remember seeing the Swamp Thing movie back in the day, and this was an 80s one, whichever. Oh my goodness, very creepy to me. Music, all that, the transformation, all that. The creature the Swamp Thing went up against was so cheesy with his transformation. I wish I might have to try to see if I can find it and post it somewhere up in here if I can. If not, I'm not gonna worry about it too much. But it was just so cheesy. But some of our horrors back in the 80s were rather cheesy at times, and it's fine, whichever. But I'm excited for this. Now, the director on the TV series is going to be Len Wiseman. If you all know him, he's from the Underworld trilogy. I'm excited about that. That makes me very happy. I'm going to read what they wrote when they were discussing the series that they were planning to push the limits on to. This is going to make it a hard R rating show. Awesome. It says, we'll always set out to make a Swamp Thing as a hard R as we could and go graphic with the violence, with the adult themes, and make it as scary as possible. Love that. Because we're doing it through the DC streaming service, they really pushed us. Although they didn't have to push hard for us to go as extreme as we could, we really took our inspiration from Alan Moore's run in Swamp Thing. Okay, nice. Fans of that series will know it gets pretty weird and extreme and very scary. We really wanted to live up to that standard that the Moore set for back in the 80s. Right. Swamp Thing himself looks incredible. What Justin Raleigh and the guys over at Fracture are doing with the suit. Can't wait to see it. So it's going to look amazing. This is going to be the origin story of the Swamp Thing. I'm looking forward to it. Also, Derek Mears will be playing the Swamp Thing. I'm very happy about that. You already know him from doing, what is it, Jason. He's in the movie Doom. He's done, what is it, Predator, whichever. So why wouldn't we add Swamp Thing to the list of things he's done? The brother just, he's creepy. He looks creepy to me anyway, so I'm actually here for that, whichever. Also, there's some other people being cast as well. Crystal Reed will be playing Abby Arcane in the series. And we also have Maria Sten, who will be playing the character Liz Trayman. So I'm excited for the ladies. I'm familiar with Crystal Reed. I loved her when she was on Teen Wolf. She's doing very well. Of course, she's been recently on Gotham, but I enjoyed her on Teen Wolf because before that, I was not fully aware of her, but I got more familiar with her as the seasons went on. When they killed her off, I was bummed about that. But I love. They did a episode where they did a flashback of her, where somebody close to her was a werewolf, whichever. It was a good episode. One of my favorites out of the whole series period, actually. So, but I'm happy. I'm not familiar with Maria Sten as much, but this will definitely open up that for me to keep her on my radar from moving on forward from that, whichever. But yes, I'm excited about this. James Wan seems to have his hands in everything. We got him definitely doing horror, and he's working on some TV series, and then we also have him doing, what is it, I wanted to say, Aquaman, whichever. Some Blaze branching out from not just doing horror, which is a good thing because it lets people know, he's just not, not to say, typecast, pigeonholed in just the one genre. like to see our directors do other things, and I'm happy for that. But I'm looking forward to this. And this is a TV series. Oh my God, the things they can do with this, the potential is going to be so good. And I love that Len Wiseman is attached. I love the fact that he's attached. That just makes me even more hyped for it. Now, this is stated to come, and they're claiming this is going to be something that's going to be coming out series beginning sometime spring, summer of 2019. They have not clarified exactly, but 2019 is the year it will be coming out, so we don't have to wait that long. This year is almost over. I don't want to rush it, but in some ways I want to rush it because there's a lot of stuff coming out next year, movies and TVs that I want to see. But, I'm looking forward to it, whichever you guys. Comment below. Let me know what you all think about Swamp Thing. If you all remember the movie, you thought it was cheesy like I did. If you didn't, it's all good, whichever and all that. Don't hold me to it. It was just parts of it that were cheesy. I actually liked it for what it was, whichever. But if there's anything else I discussed on this, just let me know in the comment section, guys, what you all think about certain things I was discussing. Is there anything that you all are looking forward to that I did discuss? And with that said, I will see you guys next week on Movie News. You guys have a good evening. See you then.